back. Today we're having a conversation about the rise in popularity surrounding game-changing medications like Ozempic and Mounjaro being used for weight loss. We just heard about Tara's transformation and her experience on one of the drugs, but hers is, of course, not the only one. Take a look.
I have type 1 and type 2 diabetes.
In 2016, I gained a lot of weight pretty quickly.
After having 5 children, I was not happy with my body and I wanted to lose weight.
As a result of that weight gain, I began having mobility issues. I was rolling my ankles, throwing up my back.
I've taken a number of medications to try and treat it, but it was really difficult for me to control my blood sugars and my weight.
I started exercising, trying different diets, and I still could not reach my goal weight.
Only after a new medication was approved in 2022 did I finally feel in control.
When my doctor first mentioned GLP-1 drugs to me, I was not interested. I felt that I hadn't really put in the time and effort around diet and exercise.
So when my doctor told me about this new medicine that helps with weight loss, I jumped at the chance.
After changing all of my habits over the course of a year, still not losing any weight and experiencing a myriad of health problems, I decided to give them a go.
I feel better than ever, but to my surprise, I don't feel supported by my friends.
Looking back now, I'm not sure that I would go on these medications again, knowing everything that I know now.
While the results of the drug are miraculous, they're not a miracle.
Please welcome to the Tam Fam, Katarra, Aditi, and Jacob. You just saw their stories there. Thank you so much. Jacob, you were diagnosed with diabetes, type 1 diabetes.
And type 2.
And type 2 at age 13?
13 for the type 1, and right before I started taking Mounjaro with type 2.
How do you feel, this conversation originally was about people who had the diagnosis, and then it seems now dominated by this miraculous weight drug, which you said it's not a miracle.
Well, it's not a miracle because it's telling your brain to not feel hungry. And so, yes, I go into the kitchen and I do not feel like I have to eat, but I also now have to plan to eat where I didn't before. One of the side effects they talk about is dizziness. Well, that's because you're not eating enough. You're not getting enough protein, so you're gonna feel dizzy. I now have to plan my meals. I have to plan out eating in a way that I didn't have to be deliberate before. Because I have hormones.
What about your medical diagnosis of type 1 and type 2? Did it make life better under that umbrella?
Once I got the type 2 diabetes diagnosis and I got Mounjaro, night and day.
Wow.
So I went from a 6.7 A1C, which is diabetes level, to the lowest blood sugars I've had in 20-something years, since before my type 1 diabetes diagnosis.
I do want to add that both Ozempic and Mounjaro are not intended for those with type 1 diabetes. According to Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly's website, medications to treat diabetes should only be used under supervision of doctors. Obviously, this is a medical show in so many ways, so there are a lot of disclaimers. We always say consult with your doctor, obviously, on anything. Katarra, I am so intrigued. You lost over 100 pounds over the span of 2 years. You've been able to keep it off with the help of one of the medications, but the response from your friends was not what you expected.
Correct.
Are they still friends? No, I'm kidding. No. No. What was the response?
Well, very negative response. They started off being supportive. But as I started to lose the weight, I guess they didn't think that I was going to do it when I told them I'm going to lose weight because they've heard that so many times from me before.
Did you tell them what you were going to do to lose the weight?
No, I did not. Yeah. Not originally.
Well, it's none of their business technically, but okay.
Technically, yes.
Right.
So as I started losing weight, I actually started losing weight all on my own by lifestyle changes and just reducing
How much
calories.
were you able to lose lifestyle change-wise?
80 pounds.
80 pounds, wow.
Yes.
Wow. So why wasn't the 80 enough, I guess, because that's a lot, and I commend you for it. Why did you want the aid of the medication to get you more weight
Well,
loss?
I was still overweight.
Yeah.
I was about 100 pounds. I was over 100 pounds overweight anyways. So when I lost 80 pounds, I wanted to lose more weight, and I started to struggle a bit with portion control, making smart choices. So that's when my doctor told me about one of the drugs and how it could help me. and you know, I wanted to try it. I didn't want to start. My biggest fear was gaining weight back.
Right, because we hear a lot of people say that that's what happens when you get off, and I've heard people have mixed reactions about it. But going back to the friends, did you ever reveal how you were losing?
I did. No one believed me though. Because it was by lifestyle changes, there were rumors, oh, she had weight loss surgery, or she was having surgery to take the fat off. Like, no one believed how I was losing weight. So when I started the weight loss drug, though, I did share that I was, you know, using.
Did you get the, oh, you'll gain it back, that drug, you know?
Yes, or what about the side effects? And there's side effects for everything, even obesity. So,
which we know obesity, CDC contributes to heart disease, liver disease, cholesterol. There, I think I have the numbers, like 43% or so Americans identify as obese, and the complications that come from that. So you're looking at the complications that can come from obesity versus what you see are the side effects for the medication.
Yes, because when I was overweight, although I had lost 80 pounds, I noticed a difference. Like, I didn't feel sick anymore. So I understood why they say obesity is a disease, because I was sick. And I felt better, and I wanted to feel even better and lose more weight and just become more, you know, healthier.
So, and my team just told me it's 42% of people in America are clinically obese is the number. Aditi, I'm watching your body language, and I watched that video. You've got strong opinions here. You wish you hadn't done it.
It's not so much that I wish I hadn't done it. It's that when I started these drugs, they said that my doctors, folks I'd spoken to at the time, the understanding was that you could come off of them and maintain the weight loss. And while I was on them about halfway through my journey, there started to be more reporting about people coming off of them and needing to gain weight. Pharmaceutical companies started saying that folks may need to be on them in a sustained way to maintain their weight loss. And so I felt misled.
When you started taking the medication, did you lose?
Yes.
How much?
I lost almost 50 pounds total.
Wow. Did you gain that? I'm assuming you're off now.
I am off.
And did you gain it back?
So I've only been off for 2 months. So I've started gaining a little bit of it back.
Emotionally, how did that impact you? Because that's the whole fear of the yo-yo diet of anything. And this is not just about these medications. I'm 53 years old. I remember, you know, the little shakes and you name it, I've seen it.
Yeah, I remember some fast.
Yeah, you know, I'm not trying to get sued here. I have lost. We've seen all of the ones, and the reality is that's what the yo-yo diet culture has been.
Sure. I mean, for me, I was much more worried going into all of this about developing disordered eating than I was about gaining the weight back. I was much more worried. I don't know what the numbers are, but so many people I know in all different sizes of bodies have dealt with anorexia, bulimia, all different kinds of eating disorders. I've always had a very healthy relationship to food. I really have loved my body at every size. So I was very worried about developing a fear around gaining weight back and an attachment.